هذول هم الخمس كاميرات تاعتي، كل كاميرا مرحلة في الحياة.
Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Anne Grady Flores. Thank you all. I am like totally blown away at this crowd we have on this Saturday afternoon on a beautiful Ithaca day. What a shame to go inside on a sunny day. So every time I see this film, and I've seen it 3 times now, it rolls over me like something very deep. I had been in Beleng in 2007. I was invited to go by Mohammed Khatib, who used to be the head of the Popular Committee in Beleng, and I went with Tito Kayak. How many of you know Tito Kayak from Puerto Rico? You know of him? Okay. We brought him here back in 2000. Tito's an activist in Puerto Rico who does nonviolent actions. 3 of us, Ivan Torres, Dara Guadalupe, and Tito and I went to Beleng for a nonviolence conference. And Tito was asked, because he's a climber, he was asked to unfurl the Palestinian flag on the top of an Israeli surveillance tower that overlooks the village that you saw. So after that, months after, that same year, 2007, Emad and Tito and I went on tour for 2 months, almost 2 months, from August to the end of September, and we toured the northeast cities. We went all the way to Harvard, to Maine, to Hartford, Worcester. We went all over to try to show the parallels of the struggles of the land, the need to protect the land in Puerto Rico and Palestine. So Dr. Beth Harris, who is here with us tonight, helped us name the tour. Puerto Rico to Palestine, uniting the struggles in defense of the land. We went then, after the Northeast, we went to Puerto Rico. We went to universities, we went to schools, we went to churches, we went to mosques, and to community groups. And after coming back from Palestine, I realized that I had not known of what was going on there. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up among Jewish people. I learned how to keep a kosher kitchen. I took care of my next door neighbors, Fern and Iris, the twins, and Joel, the little one. And I took the girls to shul every Wednesday. But I did not know the Palestinian narrative. Growing up in the Bronx, there wasn't any discussion about it. And even coming to Ithaca, I had not heard about it. And so my hope tonight, and I feel like the hope has been fulfilled, first of all, by the Dorothy Cotton Institute folks from coming back this past October, right on the eve of the bombing of Gaza again, this past 2012. And the fact that Emad and Guy Davidi, the 2 Palestinian and Israeli filmmakers together making this film, has made the issue of Palestine come to the fore. So we're riding this wave of the Dorothy Cotton Institute. We're riding the wave of Emad's film. We're riding the wave of world, the realization that the apartheid system can no longer stand. It must fall, just as it did in South Africa. But it must fall, and it does not mean the dismantling of Israel. Israelis can live in security, but it has to happen from within. So we're here tonight to have a discussion with Emad about his film. Emad is in Switzerland, and it will be midnight when he gets on the Skype with us, which is 6 o'clock Ithaca time.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Oh, okay. Oh, give Emad a huge applause. Hello, Emad. Can you hear me? Can you hear the crowd?
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
So we're going to invite people to come up and ask you questions about the film. Thank you so much for being up so late to answer.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your interest in my movie, my film, my story, my village story. I'm really glad to make a discussion.
Assalamu alaikum, Emad. My name is Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh. I am from Elmira, New York. I'm an internist, have been living in this country for the past 40 years. And I was in Israel in February. I was sent there on deputation by New York State Department of Education and by New York State Board for Medicine. We, group of 3 professors and myself, I was a board member. It is our responsibility, the board, to check the medical education and curriculum there. So we were there, 4 of us, with our spouses. And during this trip, the Israelis, what I found, were the most beautiful people. They treated us so nicely, every one of us. There was a Jewish couple of these 4, my wife and I, Muslims, and then there was a Christian couple, and then a Hindu couple. And my wife and I, we went to Beit al-Muqaddas, and we paid our tributes to Western Wall. I prayed there, we prayed there, and I went to the Holy Church of Sepulchre. After all this, I'm just going to say that at the Rambam Hospital, which is in Haifa, that was our last stop, and attached to the Technion Medical School, that was one of those 2 that we checked the medical education. They like my style in many ways about the education and about my general approach to life. And they wanted me to come back and help them connect with the Palestinian people for the peace. And I told them I am not the kind because I don't have the credentials. However, I said after the government, the New York State releases the results, I will connect you with the people who are into this kind of business, and we will see how things go. My question to you, sir, this film that we saw, I cried during the film. I mean, there are scenes in there that you just cannot stand them as a human being. People being shot, you see the blood on the streets, and all these people, they're asking for their rights. This film, couldn't you show it? You have an Israeli sponsor as well on the world stage. I know it won the prize. It won, some of the prizes. But couldn't you get it on the world tour, or somehow you get it? I mean, you are a courageous man, and may God give you a lot of strength. And bring it to the Congress. Have the Palestinian people who live in this country connect with their congressmen, senators, and all that. It is very important to make this country aware of what is happening over there, so they know, each and every one of you. I will not ask, cut out the funds of $2 billion to Israel, or do this or do that. I would say in this time and day, accept Israel as a country, but at the same time, make them come along with the Palestinians to a bargaining table. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to thank you, and I want to say that you are lucky that you could go to Jerusalem and to pray, because Jerusalem is not far from my home, and I cannot go to Jerusalem. And all the Palestinians, we don't have access to Jerusalem or to Al-Aqsa Mosque. And we live under the Israeli army control. We live under the occupation. So you went to Israel. They treated you good, but you didn't. How the life is under the army control and under the pressures of the army and the occupation. So when you watch this film, it's about all the reality and all the truth of our life. So you see how we live, where we live, and how our kids grow up in this situation. So we just ask for one thing. We need peace and liberty for our kids and their generations. We are not asking for big thing or, so We want to live as other people in liberty, and we want the peace to our kids, to our families. We see how people being killed there in my village and in other towns, and you see how people are arrested, and it's not normal life. In the end of the day, they go to their lives, to their beautiful life in Tel Aviv and in their cities, and we live in our village under the Israeli army control.
Brother, one more thing. Palestinians do not have the right within Israel. How about asking your Palestinian brothers living in America to vouch for you? Because that's what I really am asking you. Just like if something happens to my old country, Pakistan, even if there are many, many things I don't like about that country where I came from, however, you know, we do stand up for some of the things that they do. So that is my request to you. And I'll let the next person come in.
If I were, or somebody else were to write an article, we could just link to the film and that people could watch it. If not, is it a question of money? Like if you could get corporate sponsorship to host it, how much would that cost? Do you have any plans for that?
I'm sorry I couldn't hear all the question.
The question
Hello?
was, is the film online? And it is. It's on Netflix. So we can promote it through Netflix. And Emad wants to sell the CDs so he can make a living, which he's been prevented from doing for 10 years. Emad, were you able to hear me? Okay. Excuse me, just start it up again. All right. Yeah. Yes. Anybody else would like to ask a question?
What I'd like to ask about is this business of apparently the snipers are being taught to shoot cameras from the faces of people who are documenting what they're doing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, when I decided to pick my camera and to be part in the struggle with people, because I believe that on what I am doing, and I thought that this is my responsibility to do this for many purposes. I wanted to do this to show the world and to be witness, because I know that the camera is very big, very strong witness, and I want to protect myself and to protect the people around me with my camera. So I believe that my camera is my weapon, and because I was the only camera in the village, and the many people came to give support and to participate in my village in the protest, and the filmmakers came to make films, so they were asking me to give them footage and to help them. So I thought that since 2005, I thought that I have to tell my story, and I have to make this film. So I decided to make the film about myself, about my friends, my family, my son Jibril growing up. So I've been doing this film for 7 years. I've been constructing the story and filming. I put my life in risk situation because what's happened in my village, everything was related to me. My land, the trees, the struggle, my friends, everything was related to me. And so to live the experience under the occupation and under the pressures, and to tell the story from inside, from your feeling. So nobody can do it if you don't live the experience and you feel the same feeling. So it's not the same thing when somebody come from outside to make film about my story, about Palestine or about the war. So I wanted to tell my story and my life story, the daily life, and my son growing up, my friends. I wanted to tell this to the people who had no idea about the situation. So this is all the reality and all the truth. So always the soldiers, they were trying to stop me or to arrest me or to shoot me, to shoot my camera, because I wanted to continue and I wanted to keep filming, because it's my land and it's my home, it's my village and it's my people. So I am related with my mind and my feeling with the place. So I did this film. I did this film to show you and to show the world what's going on my country, on my village. So it's different when do it for business, because many people who come to shot or for the news or to film, they come just for business. They don't put their life in risk situation. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for making that film. It was very touching. I'd like to ask if you could talk a little bit about what's happening with the olive trees and any other agriculture and food sources that your village is eating. I'm watching the film and wondering if they're plowing all of your olive trees away and taking your land, how are people growing food?
You know, we live in very small village, and we lost our land. So most of our land been taken by the Israeli to build settlement. So there's no enough land to grow trees or to plant, and most of the trees been destroyed by the bulldozer and by the building the wall or by the construction. So people in the village, they live and they survive. They work in different jobs and they do different works. We cannot just live from the trees or from the land. And you know, we have the problem of the water. If we need to plant something, to plant trees or anything, we need water. But we didn't get enough water even for the house. So they control our water also. They control our life. They control everything. So it's not easy to live just from the land, especially when you don't have enough land and you don't have water to grow up trees or so everybody in the village, they has a job and different job to do, and we are families, we help each others. So it's not easy to live, but we survive, and in the same time it's not impossible, because we have hope for the future and for to change the situation, to make peace with life for our kids and the next generation. Most of the food or the fruits or the vegetables, they come from Palestine, from the north or from another towns, and it's not easy before the fruits came from Gaza, but no, there's no access now between Gaza and the West Bank, and there's many kinds of food come from through Israel, because it's the only way to come through. They control the borders, and everything should come through Israel from outside.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yasmin. I have two questions. One, first, I would like to make a comment to your wife and your family. How courageous of them to allow you to do this. I'm a mother and I'm a wife, so I can imagine the stresses that your family must have gone through. However, the courage that it takes a person like you and your people to do what you have done is amazing. Thank you very much for showing it and sharing it with us. I would like to know how the children, how this event has affected the children, and how is Jibril?
Just want to tell you that we live in these conditions under the occupation, under the army control for a long time. So our life became normal to live like this. It's not normal. And so our kids grow up in this situation, under these conditions, and they shouldn't grow up in this situation. For the kids, it's not easy to grow like this, to face the soldiers every day in the street or in the way to the school or near the house or inside the house. So they learn how the life is became difficult, and they learn how the future is gonna be for them. So to be honest, it's part of our life, and this is the reality of our life. So we live the reality and the experience.
Thank you very much. I think now we can fight with you too.
My name is David McClellan, and as I was watching the film and watching the soldiers' attempts to stop your filming, I started wondering what would happen if there were thousands of cameras there. I mean, every small cell phone has a camera, and a lot of them will do video. And if there were all those cameras there, would they be useful?
They have a cell phone or mobile with the cameras, and they shoot and they film. And I think it's very important because the camera is very strong witness. So I thought always, and I felt always, that the camera is my friend and my weapon. And so it's not just enough to it's very important to document and to film and to show the world. And I did this film. My goal was to make, for different purpose I was filming, to be honest, and to make this film. So I made this film after 7 years of documenting and following the characters and the events and the daily life, and to show the world. So I think this is now your responsibility and the American responsibility and the Europe responsibility to make solution to the Palestinian people and to support more the Palestinian people and to help them, because we need your support. So we show you our life, and we film our life to show you, to give you more about reality and about truth. So that's why we have now cameras, and it's more easy to use the cameras and to show the world.
Emad, thank you so much. Shukran. And let's give Emad a round of applause.